Evidence for learning supports great practice to become common practice in education. We do this by building, sharing, and encouraging use of evidence to strengthen school decision-making to improve students' learning outcomes. The Teaching and Learning Toolkit is a free online summary of educational research designed to inform practice by identifying the most effective approaches to improving student attainment. It references both international and local research and applies it into an Australian context. The toolkit is a living resource, regularly updated as new studies from around the world are reviewed and included. It can be found at evidenceforlearning.org.au. In the top navigational bar under the toolkit, All Approaches Full Toolkit. It's arranged into 34 approaches and includes approaches such as feedback, mastery learning, and metacognition and self-regulation. You can view a snapshot of all 34 approaches or filter by a range of topics or settings. Each approach has 3 key pieces of information as shown by a symbol to help you make evidence-informed decisions in your school or classroom. This includes the average month's worth of learning progress, the cost to implement, and the security of the evidence. The dollar sign shows the cost of the approach with prices ranging from the $1 sign, which indicates a cost of less than $160 per student per year, to $5 signs with costs of over $2,000 per student per year. Cost estimates are based on the approximate cost of implementing an approach in a class of 25 students. Cost estimates commonly include the cost of additional resources and the cost of training or professional development, if required. The next symbol is a padlock indicating the security of the findings. This is based on the quantity and the methodological quality of the available evidence and the reliability of the impact estimates. One padlock indicates a very limited amount of evidence, while 5 padlocks indicates extensive evidence with at least 5 robust and recent meta-analyses. The final symbol is a numerical value showing months' worth of learning progress. This is an estimate of the additional months' progress you can expect students to make as a result of the approach being used in a school, taking average student progress over a year as a benchmark. The toolkit strands can be filtered if you're looking for an approach under a certain cost or based on the strength of evidence. When you've found the approach you're looking for, you can click on it and be taken to a summary page. The first thing you'll see is a description of the approach, describing exactly what it is. Then you can see a description of the effectiveness of the approach. This often describes what types of interventions have been successful. Following this, there is a description of the amount of evidence behind the approach and how secure it is. Then the costs to implement. And the final section includes several things that teachers or school leaders should consider when adopting this approach for their setting. This is particularly important as high quality implementation can make a significant difference on students' outcomes. If you refer to the right-hand sidebar, you'll see that each toolkit strand has a references, a summary of the individual studies included for that particular toolkit strand. And finally, there's a further reading relevant to this teaching and learning approach. You'll see that there's a link for all strands to the Australasian research summary. Evidence for Learning has upgraded the toolkit with an additional section focused on Australasian evidence through collaboration with the Melbourne Graduate School of Education at the University of Melbourne. It offers a summary and analysis of individual Australasian summaries for each approach. If you'd like any more information about the Teaching and Learning Toolkit or evidence for learning resources, you can subscribe to our newsletter at evidenceforlearning.org.au or contact us via email on info@evidenceforlearning.org.au.